Hi, I'm Joshua Mackey with Into More. I'm here with Roger Ross Williams, director and co-screenwriter of the film Cassandro. Roger, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Joshua?
I am doing fabulous, and I'm so excited to be able to chat with you about Cassandro. I saw the film. I loved it. You got my boyfriend who doesn't know he's my boyfriend, Gael Garcia Bernal, in there, but
Ah,
we won't talk about that.
I love that your boyfriend's in the movie.
Same. Hopefully, I'll get an invite to his other premieres. Who knows?
Yeah.
But until then, we had to talk about how this even came to be. So I know that you directed a documentary about Cassandro, and that's how you were first introduced to his story. What inspired you to continue telling his story in your new film, also titled Cassandra?
Um, I made a short documentary. It's a 15-minute documentary for the New Yorker series. Fell in love with Cassandra. I just knew this was my first film because his story is so inspiring. I love that he owned his femininity. He owned everything. He embraced who he is, and he uses it. And there's a way, that he uses the taunts and the name calling as fuel, and it makes him more powerful. And he makes the audience fall in love with him. And that to me was just amazing. And it's really a superhero narrative of him creating this, iconic queer superhero. And I just had to tell the story. So, and I wanted the broadest possible canvas. I wanted to be able to do it in the biggest possible way. And that meant really doing a scripted film. And then I wanted the best possible actor I could find who could play him, who could do the physicality of the role, who could do the emotional scenes of the role. And that was only Gael Garcia Bernal. So he was always my first choice. So after a long pursuit, I got him.
And I love that you pursued him because he did a fabulous job becoming one, Saul Armendáriz, who transforms into his alter ego, super alter ego, Cassandro. And Saul and Cassandro are very complex people, and we see a lot of that on screen thanks to you. You got the daydreamy and earnest Saul versus the charismatic and flashy Cassandro. What was the research like to get that depiction of him on screen just right?
Um, it's all in the screenwriting. A lot of it. It was a long screenwriting process with my partner David Teague. We really immerse ourselves in the world of the real Cassandro and spend time with him in El Paso, and did the research. And then we once we understood the world and understood who he was, really, we could really then craft the story. And the emotional quiet moments are as important as the big flamboyant fight scenes. And so once we figured that out, then we knew, what kind of film we wanted to make.
I love hearing that. And there are some really, really striking moments in there. I mean, I'm thinking right now about him in the pool as well with his mother and how that really creates such an emotional resonance within the film. And of course, there's so many other ones, but that one definitely strikes me as super
That's
impactful.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes. That is a powerful scene, and that's one of the only scenes where the real Cassandro was on set. And the real Cassandro had a stroke 2 weeks before we began production, so is at the time was in a wheelchair and unable to speak, but was wheeled to set and came with his whole family, including his father. So he watched that scene in tears at watching Gael play him in the pool to the music of Juan Gabriel, an iconic singer in Mexico, a beloved singer in Mexico from Juarez, who was flamboyantly gay, not always openly gay, but flamboyantly gay, like Liberace. He always reminds me of Liberace, Juan Gabriel, but beloved by straight men and gay men and women and everyone in the LGBT plus community, but like straight guys, macho straight guys love Juan Gabriel. And that, so he's very much like Cassandro because, you know, straight guys who go to these matches, and I watched it happen, they love Cassandro. He walks backstage and all the macho wrestlers hug him and kiss him and they all want to hang out with him. And I'm like, what? This is weird. How is this happening? The power of Cassandro.
The power of Cassandro. And he has plenty of power, that's for sure. And one thing that I think is really powerful is that this film is definitely a love letter to a queer Latinx icon. And so, what do you hope that other queer people get from watching Cassandra?
I hope that other queer people are like, sin máscara, take off your mask, be who you are, be proud, be out, be proud, and love yourself. And that's the message, not until Cassandro just basically said, I'm gonna be who I am, I'm gonna brace who I am, I'm gonna own it, that he become successful. And I think that's a lesson for all of us.
I love that. And I will definitely take that lesson to heart. And I have one more question for you. So obviously you had Gael in mind to play Cassandro. And so you both have been at your craft for a minute, and I say a minute, for years. And so there's so much that you can both teach each other. So I'd love to understand and know, what were some things that you were able to teach Gael on set, and what were some things that you learned from him as well?
I think I think I was able to teach Gael to tap into his own emotional experiences, because that's what we do as documentarians, having conversations about his relationship with his father, and that gets, when you tap into that with an actor, it gets them to a very emotional place where they can really embody the character. They can bring some emotion to it, and you can see it in Gael's eyes. I call him an eye actor. You can see it in his eyes because you can see his eyes well up. You can see the pain and everything in his eyes, and and what he taught me was subtlety. Performances on camera are very subtle, and and the camera sees every detail, and the camera sees when the eyes well up. It sees all of that stuff, and you don't have to be over the top. You can it's about really concentrating on that subtle performance, and that subtle performance is a powerful performance.
Oh, I completely agree. And I won't give away too much since this is recorded, but there is a very powerful coming out moment, and witnessing it through Gael's eyes made me tear up as well.
Isn't that crazy?
Super powerful.
Isn't that amazing? Yes. Yeah. No words. It's just looking at his eyes, and he takes you through all these emotions. That's why he's a great actor, and your future husband.
There you go. That's right. Well, with that, Roger, thank you so much for the time today. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I know that folks are going to enjoy Cassandro just as much as I did.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's great to be with you.